This is Shy,
And this is Megan,
and this is the Magical Happy Hour.
a podcast where we share our love for Disney and theme parks, travel tips, food.
And anything else we feel like talking about.
It's our 8th episode. I almost said 7 again. We're past that now.
We are past that. We are on episode 8.
Holy cow. So, this episode, we're going to be focusing on how to save money during your trip.
Something that is becoming increasingly more important as we're visiting the parks because everything just seems to be getting more and more expensive every time you go.
Oh, don't it? Oh, don't it? First, I think we have a little bit of news to cover.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's that? Park renovation slash attraction closure schedule look like, Shy?
All right. So, as of Monday, August 5th, the attractions and experiences that are going to be closed for refurbishment, according to Disneyland website daily event schedule, includes the Disneyland Railroad, Davy Crockett's Explorer Canoes, Space Mountain, The Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Haunted Mansion, the Disney Gallery, the Disneyland Story presenting Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, Pooh Corner, the Hungry Bear Restaurant, and the Briar Path.
Yeah, so of course, not all those are attractions themselves, but dining locations, shopping places, some of them are a little bit of overlap with that corner. They have both going on there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's significant and definitely something to consider if you're planning a trip in mid-August till who knows, because I don't think we have reopening dates for any of those things right now.
I don't think so.
And these things happen, but it's unfortunate to see so many things in the park closed, but then also those are just the planned closures. That doesn't include anything that may happen in the meantime. Unexpected things can happen.
Did you see that the Incredicoaster had broken down and they brought out umbrellas?
Yeah, oh my gosh. Like 20 people had to be unloaded from the ride, and it took about an hour. But they were in the direct sunlight, and that's why they brought out the umbrellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that is, you already know. I don't want to be stopped on no type of roller coaster for no reason.
No, that's really scary. And I'm curious as to why this event was um, advertised so much because I feel like I don't think I've ever been stopped on Incredicoaster, but I've definitely been stopped on Big Thunder multiple times, had to wait a long time to get escorted off the ride, and there was definitely no news advertisement anywhere about it. So I'm just curious, was it because people were stuck so long in the heat and they wanted to draw attention to that? I'm not really sure.
Honestly, I think it was just something that, you know, how random news stories kind of pick up traction online and then kind of people build on it.
Hmm.
That's really what it seemed like, because there were some headlines being like 20 people rescued from the Incredicoaster, whatever. And it's like, they just had to get off.
Yeah.
Like an hour is a long time in the heat. Like, I don't want to minimize that at all, because that's excruciating depending on all the factors. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it was actually any kind of big deal, just really unfortunate and inconvenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. And it doesn't seem like anything actually interesting happened. Besides, hopefully they got to keep those umbrellas.
Yeah,
Probably
that'd be
not.
pretty sweet. Probably not, but they should for
Yeah,
their suffering.
they had to get them from somewhere. I mean, might as well just bye.
So let me check now if it's back open because it had been closed.
Oh, was it closed for a number of days?
I believe so.
Oh, I didn't
It
get
was
that.
definitely closed for the rest of that day.
Mm, probably for the best. I mean, you don't
It's
want to.
reopened now, but
Okay, cool.
something that I wanted to mention about the the amount of ride closures
Mm,
is that Disneyland's daily capacity is based off of their rides and the capacity, like the amount of people that they're able to have in those ride buildings. So when a ride goes down, that is like if a ride is scheduled for a refurbishment type thing, that is a significant number of people that they're not able to allow into the park because it reduces the park's capacity.
that makes sense. Now I'm curious. I looked at ticket prices for August a couple weeks ago, and that was before I saw the closure announcements. So I'm curious if the ticket prices have fluctuated at all, but these are honestly probably things that they've accounted for months ago. So I'm sure that the ticket prices already reflect accurately, like even when I looked a few weeks ago.
Mm.
I'm not sure though. But there was a dramatic decrease between the end of July and mid-August, like almost $100.
Oh
So
wow,
yeah, for a park hopper.
good to know.
hmm But now I'm like, I just had a break from school. Thought I'd take a little trippy trip, but maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not if there's not going to be so many favorite, so many of our favorites that we won't get to enjoy. But maybe it would be a good opportunity for us to do the things we've never done.
That's true. That's true. We did talk about that recently. And it's not like any of the things that are closed besides the railroad and I guess Space Mountain are like even things I do every time. Even Space Mountain, I don't even do every time necessarily.
I definitely do Haunted Mansion every time.
Well, yeah, but I'm just thinking Haunted Mansion's been closed. Like,
Yeah,
Haunted Mansion might be the only thing I do in a day. The
that's fair.
last time I did a solo trip, I literally went immediately to Haunted Mansion. I think Indy was closed or something. I did the railroad and I think one other thing, and then I left. Priorities.
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Any
what's
other
next?
news?
Just on in the same vein, and since we're talking about the Haunted Mansion, I did see a YouTube video today that was posted by Offhand Disney, who's definitely one of my favorite Disney YouTubers. He's a big Haunted Mansion fan, so really covers that news tightly whenever something comes up. And I guess there's even more things that they're changing possibly within the mansion itself, within the attraction than we had talked about previously. Um, Previously, we mentioned the bride animatronic being changed, but then also the hitchhiking ghosts being changed from a Pepper's Ghost effect to some sort of screen based
Hmm.
deal,
Hmm.
like how they have in Disney World. But also, he was talking about in that video that they're changing the stretching room, not the stretching room itself, but the effect at the very end with the ghost host above your head.
Oh, oh, like they're taking it out?
Like they're changing it in some way. I don't know how. He was kind of speculating it about like what it could possibly be, but maybe they're getting rid of the ghost host being a hanging man, you know? I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never heard of anybody cause a stink about that, but I I wouldn't be surprised, I guess. And maybe it's just getting updated. Maybe it'll be something more interesting. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing or
maybe
even
it'll
I
be even scarier.
yeah, I mean
Probably not.
probably not,
Wishful
but
thinking.
wishful thinking. Yeah, we hope for some things. Um, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Who knows? We don't know yet. So lots of stuff happening in the haunted mansion in general.
I just want to see what it looks like right now inside.
I
I
know,
just want to go in inside right now and see what they're doing.
right? Knock knock. Excuse me. What are you doing?
Hi,
Ghosties. Hi.
can I take a peek?
I'll be your last final haunt, whatever it is.
There's always room for one more.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm excited. I have no idea what could even be done, right? That's why they're the ones imagining it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely not creative enough to be an Imagineer.
I think I got some good ideas, but how to implement them, I don't know. It's a lot of red tape involved in those ideas too, I bet. So,
Yeah,
don't know how often they're free flowing.
true.
That's all the news I can think of, though, that I've seen. Lots of just like little updates. D23 is coming up sometime soon, so that'll be its whole own pile of fresh news to
Hmm.
tack on. But I think there's still like a month until that starts or that goes
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yeah, like first weekend in August.
Hmm. I think it's I think it's August 10th, I want to say,
Oh,
because I was August 10th is my mom's birthday, and I was looking at going to D23, but then once I realized that it was that date, I'm like, okay, probably won't be able to make it.
yeah, I was actually looking up stuff about it this morning, just because I was curious what it takes to go. I didn't know if people just buy tickets or if it's like you have to be a member of a thing or what it was. And I don't know, I didn't look that hard. Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's the 9th through the 11th. Um, but yeah, I was gonna sign up to be they have like free memberships. So I was gonna join that and see what that entails. And I don't know if it's just like a newsletter or what, but
Oh yeah,
should be interesting.
yeah. So we have a little game we're gonna play. Not really a
Oh,
game, but
the way I
a
forgot.
a this or that Disneyland edition that Megan created and posted it on our Instagram page. And we are going to take turns going over what we would choose.
Yeah, so this is a template that I posted on our story just yesterday. It'll be gone by the time this episode comes out, but you can find it in the highlights on our Instagram. So you can do it and post it yourself. It's simple, quick, but pretty fun. So Shy, what would you choose? Rope drop or close the park?
I love to rope drop. Um, I really I feel very accomplished when I'm able to get there that early in the morning and take advantage of those first few hours in the park, dominating some rides. And normally by the end of the night, I am exhausted and too tired to want to close the park unless we're staying nearby and I can take a nap midday. But many times I'm staying with you and we're pulling an all dayer. So closing the park can be pretty tiring. What do you think?
I uh, mm, I also chose rope drop because I'm tired by the end of the day. I want to go home.
Yeah.
I want to go home pretty much as soon as I've done the things. I'm like, all right, let's pack it up. I'm like, yeah, once in a while a nighttime show, but I might not rope drop if that's what I'm trying to accomplish that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about a churro or a pretzel?
I'm going for a churro this time.
You already know I'm with you. Pretzels can be real good midday, but churros are good all the time.
Yeah, it's pretzel is usually a little too heavy for me. I'm not a super big pretzel person anyways. I will never really order it myself, but if someone else wants to share one, then I'll dive into that. But
Mm.
okay, what about are you gonna pick a headband or a hat?
Realistically, I'm picking a headband, but man, do those ears give me a headache. They are real tight on my head. I don't know if I just got an exceptionally like wide head or what, but they really give me trouble sometimes. I do have I have one cute Disney hat that I do enjoy wearing to the park, but most of the time I'm choosing a headband.
Yeah, me too. I have been super into Disney bounding the past few years, and I love picking different headbands to go with my outfit to help, resemble whatever character I'm trying to portray. So I'm definitely going to pick that option, but I have definitely chosen a hat before in the park, especially if it's my second or third day and I'm not uh, trying to cover my hair and protect my face from the sun. I'll choose a hat then, but nine
Yeah.
times out of 10 going with a headband.
Yeah, yeah. I do think that some of the like character hats, you know what I'm talking about? Like whether they have like the ears or they look more like the character themselves. I
Uh-huh.
think those are kind of underrated. I know that they do look a little goofy sometimes, but it's goofy in a cute way. Like I have a birthday hat, like Mickey ear hat from the first time that I went for my birthday 8 years ago. I won't say what birthday that was for. Uh, but I think it's very cute. And I know that they definitely, some of them are a little goofy, but they're cute. Whatever. I'm a big, big fan when I see somebody sporting one of those around the park.
Me too.
Dumbo or teacups?
I'm going on Dumbo.
I'm going on teacups.
I knew that.
I drag everyone on the teacups whenever I can and torture them with going as fast as I can.
She does, but it's
I literally have a deal with my boyfriend that he'll go on the teacups with me as many times as I go on Guardians with him. We're 1 for 1 right now. Honestly, I might be winning a little bit because I think I made him go on the teacups the very first time we went to the park together and they didn't have Guardians yet.
So that means you owe us a ride on
Nope.
Guardians, is what it sounds like to me.
Nope. You're not in that deal. He liked me too much at that point to make me do something or tell me I can't do something.
This next one, man, really, really stabbing at my heart and making me choose between two of my favorites.
Yeah, this was my little evil one. Make everyone make a hard decision.
Haunted Mansion or Pirates? I know you're gonna pick Haunted Mansion.
Yes. Love pirates, but I'm picking the Haunted Mansion.
This is so hard. I really love the Haunted Mansion and I really, really love Pirates. And I think that my answer might fluctuate depending on the day that you ask me.
That's fair.
Today, I'm feeling really strongly towards Pirates.
Oh, all right.
So I'm gonna go with Pirates today.
What's giving you pirate feelings today?
I just, it's so hot up here in Northern California. It's going to be 113
Oh my.
degrees today, and I just want to be on a water ride.
Okay, that's fair. See, I'm not picking pirates because I don't want my butt to get wet. And my butt's never going to get wet on Haunted Mansion. Pirates, though, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with either choice. I just wanted to pose a hard one in there.
And you did.
Parade or nighttime show?
Nighttime show.
Yeah, I feel that. Parades are fun because I like to wave to the characters and then I feel special when they wave back. But
Yeah,
I never wait for parades and I wait for nighttime shows.
yeah, agreed.
I'll just happily observe from wherever I am.
Yeah, same.
Then Thunder
Thunder Mountain.
Mountain or Matterhorn? Haha, I got you first.
Thunder Mountain.
Nice. I think I picked the same thing. I like I love the Matterhorn because yeah, but it be hurting.
It do be hurting.
But it's not gentle. Thunder Mountain sometimes is too gentle.
I don't know if I've ever experienced Thunder Mountain being too gentle, but I do always opt for sitting as far back as I can
Yes, 100%.
so I can get jostled.
I mean, this is kind of straying and we don't have to leave this in, but did I tell you about our experience on Thunder Mountain in Paris?
I don't think so.
Holy,
Was
that
it
was,
intense?
oh my gosh, like that's the wildest ride in the wilderness, let me tell you. That was
Really?
Oh my gosh. Just like there's a whole section that you're in pitch darkness, like right at the end, and it literally feels like you're spiraling to nowhere. Like we were like, just like, where are we going? Because you're just in the dark. You're just feels like you're going deep, deep into darkness in nowhere.
Damn.
It was wild, but I mean, super cool. We waited a long time. I think that was our longest wait of the day. Yeah, not saying that that makes it superior, but it was really wild. And they don't have nearly as many animatronics.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you don't see not that I remember. But yeah, so that's our little this or that. If you want to do your own, you can find it on the Magical Happy Hour Instagram in the highlights.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be
I'm,
having a California Adventure one too soon,
oh, yeah.
and maybe some others to come. We'll see how it goes.
Woohoo. All right. So let's get into how to save some money during your trip to Disney. We are going to be covering a few different topics. We tried to cover pretty much everything that we think you would be most likely to spend your money on a Disney vacation, from the tickets to the hotel, food, merch, and we're gonna let you guys know about some freebies that you can take advantage of as well while you're in the parks. So, starting with tickets, I would always advise checking out the Disneyland website for or Disney World website for any deals that they're currently offering. And of course, if you have a travel agent, they're going to be aware of those deals as well. And some that are going on right now include, if you want, you can save up to 25% on select stays at a Disneyland Resort hotel. That's one of the offers. Disney Visa card members can save up to 30% on a Disneyland Resort hotel. There's also a 3-day Disneyland ticket offer where you purchase a 3-day ticket with admission to one park per day. And for children, it's as low as $50 per child. So that's a pretty good deal. There's also deals for US military members. There's a lot of deals going on for Walt Disney World right now, including the 30% off on select rooms. Florida residents can purchase a 4-day ticket for $59 a day, which is super affordable. There is a special 3-day, 3-park ticket to Disney's Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom.
Oh man.
There's a 4-day, 4-park magic ticket, and even more deals for Disney card members and Disney Visa card members and other Florida residents.
When we went, did we use our card to get a
Yes,
discount? Yeah,
we
okay.
did. Yeah.
Dude, that comes in pretty clutch. Not that it comes in pretty clutch sometimes. Like, I'm not trying to sell credit cards to anybody by any means, but I got a Disney Visa before living in Southern California, and it's really helped even now or especially now living close, but in ways that I wouldn't expect.
Yeah, if you travel to Disneyland frequently enough, but you're not a Magic Key holder, a way to get discounts throughout the park is having a Disney Visa card.
Yeah. And it doesn't cost anything
Yeah.
extra. You
Mm-mm.
just need a Chase account. So,
Mhm.
I mean, even if you don't go that often, but you want a Disney
If you're
card.
planning a trip, yeah, I
Yeah.
would take advantage of it. One thing that I would advise about those deals is that it's usually set aside for a certain number of rooms are blocked out to have those deals. So I would, once you see that going on, I would reach out to your travel agent or book it yourself as soon as you can, because you may see that those rooms are still available. However, the amount that they're selling for that discount is no longer available.
That's a good point.
Something to keep in mind.
Yes. And then additionally, you can buy tickets through Tickets at Work if that's offered through your employer. Have you booked that way before? I only have for Knott's.
I have not, but I know some coworkers that have.
Yeah, I've looked on there and there's definitely deals available. Just I would say look carefully at their wording. It all looks a little convoluted sometimes.
Hmm.
And then AAA and Costco. I think if you have those memberships available to you, they're awesome to utilize.
And I'm sure there's plenty of other discounted websites. I would just be cautious as to where you are providing your card information to. Always make
Hmm.
sure that it's a secure website and a reputable site that maybe someone that you know has used before purchasing through there.
Yeah, I see people talking all the time about how to get the best deals on tickets, and Disney only does the deals that they do, pretty much, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
So if something seems too good to be true, maybe
Probably is.
hold off
Yeah.
because why? Why would it be?
Yeah.
But you can always skip the park hopper and skip on lightning lanes to save a little extra on cost. It sounds like those 3-day tickets were all single park that Shai mentioned.
Hmm.
I'm curious, and maybe you don't know this, and that's totally okay, because I certainly don't. That's why I'm asking. But do you know if you buy those 3-day tickets? Because I know you can like upgrade your tickets at the park sometimes, obviously for extra cost. Do you know if you could do that for a single day if you bought like a 3-day one park ticket, say the first day I go, I want a park hopper just for that day. Do you know if you're able to upgrade it in that way?
I'm not sure, but if you're at the park and you're experiencing that and you're having that question, I would find a cast member or head over to City Hall because they should be able to help you figure that out, answer that question for you, and assist you in upgrading your ticket if that is a possibility.
Yeah, that would be cool. I might look into that.
Definitely.
Sorry, I was belching.
No, you're all good. Um, Another way that you can save money on tickets as well as your hotel is go during the off season.
Mm.
So the Disneyland website refers to the season that you can expect lower crowds from mid-September through mid-November before the Thanksgiving break and mid-January through mid-March. I always have gone by the rule that every day after Halloween, the park gets a little bit busier, but you can take in your own experiences and like whatever has worked best for you. But I know Megan and I have both experienced mid January to mid March, pretty much all of March, I'd say, being a pretty decent time to go.
Yeah, I would just, well, yeah, food and wine I think usually goes until the beginning of April.
Hmm.
I would just avoid the tail end of that because
Yeah.
that's going to be really peak spring break. Plus, people try to squeeze in those last few days of food and wine.
Hmm.
But I've always had really good success going mid March, given I'm biased, that's when my birthday is. So that's when I like to go. But same with your birthday and the end of February
Yeah.
always seemed like it's been a very good trip. Same
Hmm.
with Disney World. We planned our trips at the beginning of March. Really chill. People were warning us about spring break, and I don't think we saw the effects of that. And we were there around the opening of Tron.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
that's when I would vote. Really good weather there around that time. California, it can be, depending on the year, you might get a lot of rain,
Yeah.
but that's like that whole off season time. You could possibly get a good amount of rain, but also could be absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Really just depends.
Mid September, you're probably still in the heat
Yeah.
because we get our heat wave a little bit later, but
Yeah.
still probably okay.
No, it's not as it's a little bit cooler than, going in July and the beginning of August. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Another way that you can save money on your hotel is being a rewards member. So if you have, Marriott rewards,
Mm.
Best Western rewards, things like that, that you can build up points for. I know that there's people, I'll have clients that will reach out to me saying that, we always stay at a Marriott, we have some rewards there, we'd like to, book there, and that's always an option. And that can, even if you're not necessarily able to use those rewards on that trip, you're building them up to be able to use them for a future trip as well as other destinations that aren't Disney.
Yeah, 100%. Or if you have a credit card where you accumulate points,
Hmm.
those can also always be applied to trips. That's
Yeah.
something that I try to keep an eye out for personally. Of course, utilizing a travel agent is going to really help you find all the deals. I was shocked on how much we were able to gain from utilizing a travel agent the first time we did.
Yeah, that's part of the draw to using a travel agent is having someone that's going to be able to get those deals for you. And a lot of times what people don't realize is that you can adjust your reservation to a deal if one pops up before your trip.
Hmm.
So let's say you booked a room and park tickets for, 4 nights and 3 days at the Disneyland Hotel, and you're paying full price because you booked, say, 6 months in advance. Well, there may not be any deals posted 6 months in advance for the time that you're looking to go, because usually it's a little bit closer to when you're going that the deals start to pop up. And if you have a travel agent that specializes in Disney, they can contact the company and get you that deal without you having to lift a finger. So that's definitely a huge benefit. And then um, Megan also has mentioned before using Airbnb might be a more affordable option for you if you have a large family and you're going to be going for multiple nights. Because we have talked about their, if you're going for a night or two, sometimes their service fees that they
Hmm.
cost, it doesn't, with it all adding up, doesn't end up being any cheaper than a hotel. But if you're staying for a significant number of nights and days, then the cost will even out a little bit and you might end up saving some money. So I would just do a comparison and see what would be the best option for your family.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that comes with, usually being at an Airbnb, same with some hotels, that is something that I would definitely look out for when I was actively traveling down here and staying at hotels. So I always had a car, is finding a hotel with free parking, especially if it's within walking distance of the park, but also you can always utilize public transportation that we mentioned in our previous episodes. Many of the hotels have some sort of shuttle to the park, but
Mhm.
they also utilize the bus system within Anaheim for that specific reason. It'll save you a lot than you having to pay for parking at the park, which is what, $30 now
Mhm.
each day, which can be significant depending on how long you're there for. But even parking at hotels can be expensive, like 20 plus dollars. So that's something that I would keep an eye out for when you're booking.
Definitely.
Same with it, the hotel has free breakfast.
Yes, for sure. That's definitely one of the ways that you can save money on food is by enjoying a hotel that offers complimentary breakfast or even a grab and go breakfast
Like
is,
continental.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's better than nothing. And sometimes, a Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwich is a great way to start the day.
Yeah, or an apple and a little packaged muffin, or just a
Yeah,
coffee
a
for your walk over.
complimentary coffee, I'll take that
Hey, I'll take it every time.
every single time. Yeah. And
Uh,
utilize the coffee and maker in your room as well. I've can't think of the last time I was in a hotel room that didn't have a coffee maker and some way to make your own coffee. It's not going to be anything fancy, but it can save you some money than spending $8 to $10 on a coffee at Starbucks or anywhere else in the park.
Yeah, save your money for things that you want to spend your money on and not things that you feel are a necessity,
Yeah,
right? Those things we can prepare beforehand.
yeah.
In that same vein, like packing food for your day at the park. Maybe you plan on having some meals there, but I'm a huge advocate for bringing your snacks and
Yeah.
saving the park for the actual, even if you're not having like a full meal, but more of like meal-based snacks,
Mhm.
like a Bengal barbecue skewer, that's something that you want to spend your money on versus like a bag of chips, or I like to pack either like nuts or trail mix.
Yeah, granola bars, little cuties, things like that that are easy to throw in your bag and consume while you're waiting in line or while you're having a seat in the shade. That's going to definitely save you money. Um, ugh, that's definitely going to save you money in the parks. And something to note, you can bring your lunch bags in, but you can't bring like a traditional cooler and you can't bring in any glass containers, just as a reminder.
Yeah. There's definitely lots of lunch bags though that are super well insulated. You can
Mhm,
always pack a little uh what is it? Like the refreezable ice packs? Ice
mhm.
packs. That's what I'm thinking of. And you can just rent a locker for the day. Stick it in there until you're hungry.
Yeah,
Keep everything nice and cool and you don't have to lug it around with you all day.
yeah, and that's another, benefit to staying in an Airbnb also is that you'll typically have a kitchen that you can utilize. You can go to the store and grab some stuff to make sandwiches or even grab some stuff to make breakfast and save yourself a little money that way as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Eating off property as well, grabbing a quick bite just nearby, maybe like to and from your hotel, or you just pop out of the park and grab something and pop back in.
Mhm.
Right in front of the entrance, they have some chain restaurants like Panera, McDonald's, Denny's,
I have not.
IHOP. hmm Lots of options just right off property. They can get busy for sure at times because people are utilizing them, but I've gone to that Panera many times.
Yeah. Something else that you can do, which Disney doesn't necessarily want you to do, but if you are trying to save money, you can always order off of the kids menu if you're mobile ordering. It does say, I believe, for ages either 12 and under or 9 and under, but a lot of times I want a smaller portion size, and the kids' meal is usually a pretty great deal for what you get, and you'll get like a side with a
A
cutie
cutie?
and a small like beverage. And you can enjoy that instead. Or something that I'll do with my friends is we'll order one full entree and share it between each other. We'll get like sandwich and grilled cheese. We'll get grilled cheese and tomato soup from the Jolly Holiday and each have a sandwich half and split it like that. There's a lot of ways that you can go about it to save yourself a little bit of money without sacrificing the joys of enjoying Disneyland food.
No, 100%. That's my favorite thing on this list so far. No, I love trying all the things, but I don't want to have to cash out for trying three different things when I can split three things with you and
hmm
we can not be overly full and both enjoy it and save money.
And get to try more.
hmm I've never ordered something off the kids menu because I think I don't look at it very much, but I'm going to start paying more attention to that because I'm sure there's a lot of overlap. Like I like the chicken tenders from the Golden Horseshoe.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure that they have a kid size of it instead of getting a full size, and
Yeah.
then I could just have that.
It's definitely an option that you can use.
So lots of merchandise in the park, but maybe you're okay with shopping a little bit beforehand. Maybe you're looking for some sales. I had a conversation with my cousin about this just recently because we are together in downtown Disney, and she was looking at some of the shops while we were eating and was like, they don't really have sales in here though, do they? I said, I don't, not really. Like once in a while you can find a stand of things on sale, but I told her, I was like, you just have to check like the Disney store online. 'Cause they seem like they're running deals all the time. Like right now, I know that they're having a 30% off sale on like a whole bunch of items, mostly adult items too, like adult size apparel, lots of adult size costumes, which I was surprised by. But then also some like housewares as well.
Thank you for the heads up because I will be heading there after we close out this podcast.
Yeah, I took some screenshots of some of the stuff that is like really good and on sale. Like 30% off is a good deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, some of that Donald Dutch, Donald Duck merch that we had mentioned before when we were chit-chatting about everything coming out for his 90th birthday. Some of that's on sale. I was like, "Oh, I waited the right amount of time."
Perfect.
Lots of ears too. Lots of hats, ears, really cute stuff.
Yeah, and if you're looking to buy clothing or merchandise in preparation for your trip, your local Targets and Walmarts will have some sort of Disney attire, but the closer you get to the parks, the more Disney inspired attire you'll be able to find.
Mm.
There's like the Target and the Walmart that is nearest to the park has a ton of stuff. I've even seen ears at the Walmart. You can get
Oh.
super cute clothing for super cheap to go to the parks, and who would know that you got it at Walmart or Target?
Also, who cares?
And who cares?
It's the same thing. It's just somewhere else and maybe done a little differently. It just wasn't made for the parks. It was made for sale elsewhere.
Yeah.
Something that I personally like to do, and if the time allows you, and of course, not every, like Shai said, you'll probably find more merchandise the closer that you get to the park. But I like looking in secondhand stores or thrift stores for um, merchandise, whether it's sometimes you can find some newer things. Like I just saw merch in a store not too far from me that was for the 100th anniversary, but also some more classic stuff. Like I don't know when it's from, but it's like a ringer tee that has Mickey dressed up like an astronaut, and
Mhm.
it's like advertising Space Mountain.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and my cousin also found a definitely vintage Star Tours t-shirt also just down the street from me, and he wore that to the park for one day, and then it was a little small for him, but he wanted it for our Disney trip. He looked it up while we were at the park, like where maybe else this t-shirt was sold or when it was sold, and he found it posted online for like a significant amount of money.
Oh,
Like
wow.
definitely more, if not at least double what he paid for it at the store here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and this wasn't, I mean, I like shopping at Goodwill, but this wasn't a Goodwill we were at. This is more of like a, like cultivated secondhand store.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's the right word, but I mean, he got a I hope he made some money off that if he doesn't just still have it, but knowing him, he probably tucked it away somewhere.
It's like, this is special to me now.
No, exactly. It was a fun trip that we took, but I love finding some secondhand merch. I was really surprised to already see 100th anniversary stuff. I actually didn't find that myself. One of my friends did, and she sent me a photo asking if I wanted it. And I was like, I'm pretty sure they still sell that in the park right now.
Oh,
Right
wow.
now. Yeah, like it was a quick turnaround, but that might be a little bit of an exaggeration. But I mean, that all just ended.
Yeah.
Fast fashion, everyone shop
Mhm.
secondhand. Do
Mhm.
we want to get into some of the fun little freebies?
Yeah, Megan, do you want to tell us about some freebies you can get at Town Hall?
Yeah, so I really tried to find out more after the last episode when you were talking about the carousel horses.
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh, I wonder what else you can get there that talks about attractions. I couldn't find a lot online, so I'm very curious what else may be found there, but for sure you can get an assortment of buttons for your trip
Hmm.
that talk about whether you're celebrating or it's your birthday, it's your first trip, or if you're there as a couple, as newlyweds, or for your anniversary. They have one that says happily ever after, which is very cute. However, I believe you can get those at other stores throughout the
Yes.
resort.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to go to town hall for that. But really enjoyed Shy's fact of finding out that you can get the list of the names of the horses for the carousel.
Yeah.
Yes. You can also, that's where you're going to go if you need some sort of a device that acts kind of like as a translator for you for the rides or closed captioning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So you go there to get all that assistance. And unfortunately, I couldn't find out more. I
Oh,
was
that's
really
okay.
searching. I was hoping
We'll
that
have
I
to
could.
take a trip into town hall one day and see what we can find.
Yeah.
Something that is, I don't think it's listed on our list, but you can definitely get it at town hall and at other kiosks at the entrance of Disneyland is free. The maps are free.
Oh, true.
You can grab maps. They have them for each parks, and I believe they have them in different languages. You can grab them and keep it as a keepsake. The front cover is always changing, and I know I have some maps from many, many years ago as a child, and it's interesting to hold on to them and to see how the park has changed throughout the years. And that's like another like, fun little free keepsake you can grab.
Oh my gosh. Now I wish I had one from pre Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, to see
I just, you know me, I'm like, I like a, not that anything is extinct because of Galaxy's Edge, but I want to see what the changes were like to the map itself.
mhm.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. But good point. Maps are good keepsakes, and I think they're very underrated as them sometimes.
Mhm. I definitely kept all of our maps from our Disney World trip.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Good, because Animal Kingdom will have tough to be a bug on there, and
Yes,
that's going away.
and dinosaur.
Shut up. Don't ever. We don't know anything yet. Don't say that. I just almost yelled. Don't you dare.
She's about to tear up.
We're not talking about that right now. But okay, so speaking of like more like paper based things, I guess you can get for free. And talking about Galaxy's Edge, you can get Bina's Guide to the Creatures of Batu, which is like a little booklet that shows the different creatures that you may see throughout Batu or Galaxy's Edge. You can get this from the stall that's across from the restrooms. It they have like a lot of the different animals as like puppets on the table. And sometimes you don't have them on display, but you can always ask the cast member that's there for a paper booklet or a Bina's guide. I'm sure they'll know what you're talking about. I've definitely gotten one before. They're pretty cute.
Oh,
It
that's
lets you
fun. I
know
didn't
what,
know about that.
yeah, lets you know about all the little animals that they have out there, the different creatures. But also the Jungle Cruise at the end of your tour, as you exit the attraction, you can ask a cast member for a map.
I had no idea about this.
Me either. And I did see some back and forth online about whether or not people still have them. It seems like people, like the park still has them, but it seems like they might have gone away for a while and now they have them available again,
Okay.
just maybe in a different form. But yeah, so there's usually a cast member that's standing at a podium right out the exit,
Hmm.
and you can just ask them, but they may have run out. So if you're able to go earlier in the day, go for it if you really want one.
And you can also get something a little similar right next door at Indiana Jones. you can ask for a decoding card that you can use to decode the wording on the inside of the attraction walls. So I have never actually like gone through and tried to decode, even though I do have a few of the cards, because since they don't utilize the majority of that interior queue, you're walking through pretty fast. And if there's people behind you, you don't really have the opportunity to stop and try to decode whatever is on the wall. But if you ever have the opportunity to do that, it's also just a fun little keepsake to have.
Yeah, that feels very nostalgic because that was something that they utilized at the very opening of the ride,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's cute. Feels very classic and ingrained in the lore of that ride.
Yes.
If you're getting thirsty,
Do not pay for water.
don't pay for water. Bring a reusable water bottle. There are refill stations in a few different areas of the park, but also you can just ask for ice water at any of the counter service restaurants.
And you'll get it for free, definitely.
Hmm.
And something that you can utilize in the Disneyland app is the search bar. So you can always type into the search bar like water bottle station or restrooms. And if you have your GPS enabled for the app, you can literally look on the map and see where the nearest water bottle refill station is to you, where the nearest restroom is to you. If you're using a fuel rod and you're looking to switch out the battery, you can find that on there. It's a really, really great resource that I sometimes forget about, but it's definitely super helpful to helping you navigate the park if you're not super familiar with it.
Yeah, I definitely did not know that you could just search like water refill station.
Hmm.
Wow. Okay. No, that's awesome. I will be using that because I only know where one is in Disneyland. I don't know where one is in California at all, but I know they're around. I just don't know.
Where's the one in Disneyland you're thinking of?
Next to the bathrooms in Galaxy's Edge, like across from where you can get Bina's guide to the creatures of the tube.
Oh, okay. Another one that I'm thinking of is right across from the bathrooms in in between like Adventureland and Frontierland.
Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. I do know where you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you're right. Now that you say it, I can't really think of one that's in California Adventure, but I'm sure they exist.
I'm sure that they exist. I don't know. I
Too busy
cannot.
drinking liquor in California Adventure to be refilling our water bottles like we should be.
Not concerned about water, I guess.
Not concerned about water whatsoever.
Why have water when I have beer?
Very true.
um,
Something else. Oh, go ahead.
sorry. Oh no, I would just was gonna say, since we're already talking about the app itself, there is a Disney Play app. So there are trivia games like search and find games. I know that Galaxy's Edge utilizes the Disney Play app in some way. They have like a whole game built into it. I've never used it that way, but I have used it in line for Peter Pan, which is fun because it's like a search and find. And then there's a little fun ending to it all once you find all the hidden items throughout the queue. But I think it's a fun little resource to keep you busy. I like trivia too, so having that built in is always a good time for me.
Yeah, that's fun. Something else, or a few other things that you can do for free at the parks is it doesn't cost you anything additionally to meet the characters and just stand in line and get to take a picture with them. You don't have to pay for a photo pass. You can have someone in your party, or usually a cast member is more than willing to take pictures for you on your phone as well, and then you don't have to pay for utilizing a photo pass or anything like that. You can also kind of going along with playing games like Megan said, you can try to find hidden Mickeys, and I recently heard about finding hidden Pizza Planet trucks. in different attractions.
Yeah, I heard about that very recently also, and I don't know anything about it. I just saw it as a statement.
Yeah, so neither do I, but apparently I heard that there's one in Pirates.
What?
Yes, someone said, I don't know if maybe they were referring to a different park, but someone said that there's one in the bedroom with the gold.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I definitely want to look into that and see if I can find some of those.
That's so fun. Yeah, there's so many little fun Easter eggs that you can find around.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can like look up, sometimes you can look up guides to help you on your searches
Mhm.
because sometimes things are they're a little real hidden.
Yeah, they're pretty hidden. They even have like hidden Mickey books that you can buy to
Mhm.
bring with you into the park to help you find them, but it probably is a lot easier nowadays to just look it up on your phone and see if you can find, the number of hidden Mickeys throughout different attractions in the park.
Yeah, I'm sure that there are some that are more of like guides than obvious answers. I
Mhm.
think that would be probably the most fun.
Yeah.
If you're a pin collector or somebody that just enjoys checking them all out, even though pins themselves cost money, trading them doesn't.
Yeah.
You can find pin boards at different kiosks or stores within the park. Also, your fellow park goers. I know I've been approached to trade pins at times, um, just because I have them all on display on my bag and I have a little assortment. So I don't know, a variety for people to observe themselves.
Mhm.
But I also, once in a while, I'll find the mystery pin packs, and there might be like one or two that I'm really going for, but sometimes you get a miss, and that's okay. I'll usually keep those pins, and those are my trading pins. And I have them in their own little pocket in my bag, and I check out those boards, or if I spot someone that maybe they look like they'd be interested in the ones that I have, and I'm interested in the ones that are on they have on display. I'll try to trade that way, but not a huge pin trader. But I I do like searching for ones that maybe I don't see all the time.
Yeah, they also used to have cast members, I haven't seen it in a long time, wearing lanyards with pins on them that you could go up and trade with as well. And there's even like super, I don't know if sophisticated is the right word, but super intense pin traders that come and you can find them in
Usually at the front of
Frontierland.
Frontierland. Yeah.
Yeah, and Disney has given them like a set of like hours that they have like set aside that time for them to be there, and you can go and go through their collection and trade with them. There are some rules for trading with Disney or for the actual Disney pins. It can't be like a pen that you got like, let's say, from like Hot Topic or a box lunch or something like that. It has to be an official Disney pin and say Disney on the back. And sometimes you'll trade pins and end up with a pin that isn't like official, and that just happens sometimes. But I would just like make sure that you're trading a pin that's appropriate for like the Disney boards.
Yeah, definitely. Just good thing to be aware. If you're exchanging for things, like they're both of monetary value, it's just important to keep that in mind.
Hmm.
The first time I ever traded was a little girl. She wanted a unicorn pin that I had on my bag, and she was really young. I talked to her parent. I was like, "Are you sure that this is okay with you?" Because she was trading me a red the pirate pin for my unicorn. Yeah, it's very cute, and that was like when red was fresh on the scene.
Yeah,
And I looked at the dad like, are you sure that you want to
but this is okay.
like this is okay? This is like a a cheap pin from Target." And he was like, "They're hers. Like, that's okay." I'm like, "All right."
All
Here
right.
goes, sweetie. She was so cute and she was so excited about it, but I was like, I felt like I was robbing a child. She approached me.
Stealing candy from a baby.
Oh my gosh. Hey, but I still have that red pin. It has a very special prominent spot on my bag.
I love that.
I hope that she enjoys that unicorn, you know?
Yeah. You can also take drawing classes at Animation Academy in California Adventure.
Yes, which is its own little fun keepsake of its own.
Yeah.
You can decide what character you want to draw that day. They
Mhm.
have a schedule. Usually, I think it's done by the hour.
I think it's done by the half an hour.
Oh wow. Okay.
There's
Yeah.
many that you can
There,
do in a day.
yeah. Lots of opportunities, wide variety of characters. Have you done it before?
Oh, yeah.
Who have you done?
I've done Daisy Duck,
Cute.
and I think I've done Mickey Mouse, and there's one other that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I'm terrible at it. But it is really fun, but I am terrible at it.
You don't have to be good. It's just for fun, right?
Yeah.
I've done Grogu, which mine and my partners are posted on our fridge. And then we did Christmas Mickey. So Mickey and a little Christmas hat.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, I usually put them on our fridge around Christmas. It's in our Christmas bin.
Oh, I love that.
We still fight about whose Grogu is better. He said mine looks like it's up to trouble. His is pretty cute. It has like little frog legs sticking out of its mouth.
Oh my gosh, how adorable.
Staying in California Adventure, though, when you make your way onto San Francisco from the left side, so like the back side of that area, instead of like crossing the bridge,
Mhm.
you can stop into Boudin Bakery and get yourself a bread sample at the beginning of the bakery tour.
And who doesn't love some free sourdough bread?
Oh yeah, that's peak. That's very good.
You used to be able to get a free chocolate from Ghirardelli, but I don't know if they do that anymore.
Maybe just sometimes, like I've seen people at times like posted up at like the front doors of it with like a little basket of chocolate, but also I've seen them not there.
Yeah.
Maybe it depends on the day.
Mhm.
Bread though. Bread though.
Priority.
Especially boudin sourdough bread.
Freshly baked on property. So delicious.
And if you happen to be at the Grand Californian, there is a tour that they do at 1 o'clock every day called the Art of Craft tour.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, it's free and available if you're around. Can definitely do it.
Do you know what it entails at all
I think they talk a lot about like the architecture
of
and
the hotel?
of the hotel and like where the inspiration of things came from. I couldn't find that many details about it, but it seemed very like hotel centric.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last thing that we wanted to mention that's for free at the Resort for us ladies, if you are in need, there's complimentary pads and tampons in the bathrooms.
Yes. Use them. Why not?
They
Take
are
a
there for you. Take a handful.
yeah. Take an extra for later.
Yeah,
You never know when you're going to need one.
yeah.
There's much more free things available than I would have thought of.
Mhm.
Extra experiences too that like sometimes you don't think of. I know that we just mentioned that they're going to be closed for a bit, but if you're a real fitness person, man, get on one of those canoes.
Oh yeah.
You're going to get yourself a workout for
Definitely layer on some sunscreen.
oh yeah, please. Uh Also doing the why can't I think what it's called? The Redwood Creek Challenge area. There's
Mhm.
lots of paths and things to climb on, and it's not just for kids. You'll get all the adults will get their wiggles out as well.
Yeah.
That's just for anybody that needs an extra fitness challenge on top of their Disney day.
Yes. You crazy, crazy people out there.
Thank you so much for listening. We post new content every Saturday, so please follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you listen so you never miss an episode.
And don't forget to review and rate us 5 stars, share it with your friends, and subscribe to at the Magical Happy Hour on Instagram. Megan, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Megan Creedon. Shy, what about you?
You can find me on Instagram and on TikTok at Disney Obsessed Nurse. And if you're interested in having a professional travel agent that specializes in Disney and Universal Studios plan your next vacation, you can find the link to my website in our podcast notes or email me at cheyenne@vincentvacations.com. Be sure to tune in next week where we're going to be talking about things that you didn't know that you could do at the Disneyland Resort.
I'm excited to see what all we got for that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some research on that and finding out what I don't know that we can do.
Add to our list of more things that we need to be doing.
Absolutely. So we'll see you guys next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.